This is a walkthrough of 360 Degrees, Perspectives on the U.S. Criminal Justice System, a participatory documentary. With this project, we've wanted to test the capacity of the web to tell stories from multiple points of view in non-hierarchical ways and to provide context, historical, economic, and statistical, and resources in ways not possible in other media formats. The site is divided into 5 main parts: stories, dynamic data, timeline, resources, and dialogue. Over the past 4 years, we have been collecting the stories of inmates, correctional officers, lawyers, judges, parents, victims, and others whose lives have been affected by the criminal justice system. The site launched with 2 stories in 2001. To address the many issues affecting our nation's growing prison population, new stories continue to be added as time and resources permit. Currently, we have 7 stories online. Each story is focused around a specific case and is told from the perspectives of 5 to 6 people involved by a combination of audio diaries and QuickTime VR panoramas of each person's space, a device traditionally reserved for real estate websites. With this technique, we wanted to place visitors inside the prison cells, offices, judges' chambers, and living rooms of each of the people speaking, while at the same time using the metaphor and strategies of the panopticon. In the first story, we see John Mills III. John was serving 7 to 9 years for 2 counts of armed robbery and had been at Polk Youth Facility for over 3 years at the time of his story.
All right, fellas, lights out time. Need everybody get into bed, let's go. Cigarettes out. Let's go, fellas.
All right, he has now put me in my cell. So my nightly routine in here is come in, get ready for bed. I'm gonna fix this bed. This is a hard bed. I gotta flatten it out because the mattress is always lumpy. So my name is John Mills. 21, black male, in prison.
Hey fellas, in the room!
I wanted to be a police officer, you know what I'm saying? When I was small, I used to think about that all the time, be a police officer. All the sirens, loud noises, and blue lights and stuff. That's just something I always wanted to be. But now I hate the police. I know my life just took a big turn somewhere. I just don't know where.
At Polk Prison, John works in intake under Sergeant Camel. Camel has been referred to as old school by his younger co-workers. He has been working at the prison for over 25 years.
Robert Manning, Joseph Harris, Corey Carson.
My name is Sergeant Furman Camel. We are right now in receiving area.
All right, you guys should be lined up, just like I call your name. James Edward Curtel, Valentine.
No inmate comes in unless they come through receiving. This is the starting point. I'm gonna be the first face you see when he come and the last one to see when he leave.
What's your name? I can't hear you.
My name is Stuart.
How old are you?
21. Step down.
Have you heard about this place before you come here?
Yeah.
What?
Yes, sir.
What's funny?
Nothing.
Huh?
Nothing.
Am I laughing?
Nah.
This ain't no joke. This is the real deal. You're gonna do what we tell you to do, and we don't want to see that smile on your face. If I see another smile on your face, I got something for you. You don't know that, son. Get in line.
Hold on, 3 of you right behind each other. Right behind each other.
A lot of times I'm just the meanest person in the world. But my objective is to help him. When he comes off that bus, he got a different attitude.
Other stories look at juvenile justice, the death penalty, the Rockefeller drug laws, and prisons as economic development, which brings us to Wayne County, Pennsylvania, to hear Blaze Rollison's story. Wayne County's rolling hills in the northeast corner of Pennsylvania has been home to generations of dairy farmers, but hard times meant foreclosures and the loss of young people to cities. Desperate to attract jobs, officials invited the Federal Bureau of Prisons to consider the area for a maximum security prison. This decision divided the otherwise quiet community. Those opposed to the prison say they were left out of the decision-making process and that the federal government used threats and coercion to force citizens to sell family land to the project. County officials, on the other hand, say the prison will bring much-needed jobs into the area and attract other industries. This is Blaze Rollison's story.
It was like 2 years ago, the Federal Bureau of Prisons people came. They pulled in the driveway. There was 4 or 5 of them. Asked me if it was okay if they came on the land to do some surveying because they were going to be building a federal prison here. And he said, you know, they'd probably buy your whole farm if you wanted it. And I said, we would never want to sell any of it. And he said, well, they'd pay you really good money for it. And I said, it doesn't matter. It's not for sale. And oh, God, he got like this far from my face and said, you can either sell it to us and take what we give you, or we'll just take it and you'll get nothing. We regret that we've been unable to reach an agreement with you for the purchase of 10.197 acres of land in support of the federal prison project in Cornyn Township, Wayne County. Well, I got that letter from the prison people saying they're going to start the eminent domain process. You know, I never even heard of such a thing as that. Eminent domain, they call it, right? Eminent domain, I think. I've never heard that word before in my life. I always was under the assumption that in America, as long as you paid your taxes and you owned something, it was yours. And it couldn't just be taken away from you like that.
To provide context for the stories, we developed an interactive timeline, which is a history of criminal justice systems in the prison in Western culture. The timeline begins in 601 AD in England, where the U.S. got its system. With brief essays and photographs which can be moved between fluidly, its construction and presence reveal what the logic of criminal justice and law often conceal: that they are constructed, not natural, that they are rooted in questions of power, class struggle, and identity. Criminal justice is a dynamic, long-standing element of societies everywhere. Never static, it reflects changing customs, politics, economics, and beliefs. It doesn't move in a straight line, but travels back and forth. It wanders in circles and leaps. In the dynamic data section, interactive scenarios expand on themes related to the stories. A ticker at the top of the page counts off the dollars spent on criminal justice each year. The dialogue area includes a chat-based forum for all visitors, an online panel discussion among criminal justice experts, and a third element, the Social Action Network, an outgrowth of the site that facilitated curated online conversations among students, ex-prisoners, and others. The ongoing forum facilitates dialogue at a local and national level for people to share their ideas about the U.S. criminal justice system and respond to themes raised by the site. From time to time, we've presented physical installations of the project. In each case, the website is exhibited alongside the installations in order to provide context to the stories presented. The digital print and audio installation presents each story from 3 to 6 perspectives. In the installation shown here, 4 exterior landscapes from Wayne County, Pennsylvania, have been printed on canvas and stretched. A chair constructed with 4 seats, each facing a different wall, houses the audio equipment, and through headphones, visitors hear the stories of the people associated with each image. The quote-unquote landscape paintings become layered with the stories of their individual inhabitants and are permeated with the issues that live in the community. In the video installation of 360 Degrees, in this case Ronnie Fry's story, which also looks at the death penalty in North Carolina, it's presented on 3 walls, each built to the size of the projection. The walls literally speak as they turn around the visitor, and he or she hears the audio perspective of each of the people who inhabit the spaces.